Hi, I'm Casey Stayman with Hayden Outdoors, and today I'm here to talk to you about some common mistakes that buyers and sometimes sellers make when purchasing equine property. Some of the things that I see in our industry are people not hiring the right agent. They are calling a friend, calling an acquaintance to buy a property. But with equine property, there's a lot of things that people miss. It's so important to make sure that you have an agent, somebody with the know-how, to get out in the field to make sure you're purchasing the right property. You can be a horse lover, but there's a lot of information that you need to know. One of the biggest things that I see are not looking into zoning restrictions. It's a huge deal within each community on how many animal units you're allowed per acre. Zoning restrictions can vary from county to county and state to state. Some counties may have restrictions on 1 head per half acre. Some may have restrictions on 1 head per 10 acres. They're going to vary based on the climate and the rain that you get throughout the year. Oftentimes, that is something that goes unnoticed. So if you're traveling from back east to out west purchasing property, it's so important that you have an agent that is willing to dig into some of these matters. Beyond your zoning restrictions within your county, you may have deed restrictions, you may have covenants, you may have HOA rules and regulations. These are all restrictions that you need to be aware of when purchasing a new equine property. So deed restrictions are going to be a little bit different than your zoning restrictions because it's going to be directly related to the property you're purchasing. Maybe a past seller or an owner had put restrictions on how many livestock they're allowed to have on that property. Ask your agent to review all title work and look into these deed restrictions before you finalize your sale. My last important item is looking at your water. Just because you have live water on the property doesn't always mean that you have access to that water, that you have any irrigation rights, or that your livestock can be watered in that area. And it's a lot of work to have to haul your water in for your animals. The other thing to ask your agent, what are the restrictions on your well? If a household use well is on your property, it is for household use only. Things can vary greatly, and you gotta have an agent that is understanding, knowledgeable, and willing to help with your research with all of this prior to going out and looking at all these properties. Make sure you give us a call at Hayden Outdoors, and your equine specialist can give you a hand.